Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto. We're getting a red pill today in these crypto markets after yesterday's monthly close. Exciting times for accumulation. Over here, we love to see those red days in the market because it's just another opportunity in the Matrix. Today, we're going to go over the Bitcoin and XRP charts and also take a look at what could be causing this bearish price action today. If you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. Also, today is the last day of the Mastermind course sale. For those of you that want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course with the promo code in the pinned comment below to get a discount. My email is in the description box to get in contact with me for access to the course. Make sure to reach out if you'd like to join and take advantage of the sale before tomorrow. And for those of you that have been patiently waiting to join the Patreon, today is the day. I'll be dedicating the month of July to a Gematria masterclass. So each week of the month, I'll be releasing a new decode of a cryptocurrency for the Mastermind community members. 4 weeks, 4 decodes. And the vote ended last night, and the winners are VeChain, Digibyte, HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, and Zinfin Network, XDC. So I'm excited to do these Gematria decodes, and the first one will be released before July 10th for the Mastermind community members on Patreon. So feel free to join today if you're waiting, and since the month has just started, you'll get instant access to all of my exclusive Patreon posts, and I have a new Red Pill episode coming out this weekend. Going to go over a bunch of altcoins the Mastermind community members suggested. And you could see what I'm personally investing in and get access to our private Discord group chat with like-minded individuals working together in this matrix during these crazy times. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So what could be causing this price action today? I believe we have an idea, and we could just look to the DXY, the dollar index. So whenever the DXY is up, we typically see bearish prices in the NASDAQ. And if we see bearish prices in the NASDAQ, we see it affect Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin is down and the Bitcoin dominance, BTC.D, is up, that will put a lot of pressure on the altcoins. So it's a little cheat code. If you're ever wondering why it's so bearish, you could go over here to the DXY. You could add that to your chart. And if you're seeing it green, you're seeing the NASDAQ red, you're seeing Bitcoin red, you're seeing Bitcoin dominance green. It's pretty much going to tell you why your favorite altcoin is down 5 to 10%. So let's quickly look at a couple things that are making me really happy, actually. Even though this is pumping to the upside, I'm going to remove some of these moving averages because they're unimportant at this time. We could see right here on the RSI is getting overbought. This is very interesting, but I believe if we turn around right here and don't break that 73, we're probably just going to see this correct right back down. It happens time and time again. Every single time that the DXY breaks this overbought area around 70 plus, it pretty much makes an insane correction, and then it just continues its downtrend. So if it was, let's just say, to get above this right here, which is 94.8, which is a really big spike, this is just another higher low. So, lower high, excuse me. It's just another lower high. So in my opinion, all we're seeing right now is an overbought RSI on the dollar, which they're printing another 6 trillion of for this relief package. We're getting another lower high. And we just have to watch how this goes. One thing that I did brought up to you guys recently was this trend line right here. This white trend line is actually a 200-day resistance. So again, this is almost a year straight of seeing this get rejected at this white trend line. And one other thing we could discuss is how this spike recently happened from the FOMC meeting last week with the Federal Reserve. Actually, it was about 2 weeks ago now. And this had a downtrending resistance, we back tested it and then bounced. That's very bullish, but I believe that if it comes up to this trend line along with a lower read on the RSI, going to get some divergence, and this is most likely just going to come right back down to lower levels. But I did mention in videos last week that any closures above the 236 fib will be bullish, and once we got that daily close above the 236 fib, you can see right here, which happened on the 29th of June, we basically just started moving up and created a new high in the structure. It's not a very solid structure though. It's pretty much a straight up breakout, and that's why the RSI is reacting the way that it is. So whenever a relative strength index in Forex starts getting above 70, it's not like crypto. Crypto can get really overbought and stay overbought for a really long period of time, especially in a bull run. But that's not how the currencies work. So I don't really pay attention to any of the other currencies. A lot of people have been asking me about the Iraqi dinar or some of the other currencies, and they're just unimportant to me. The US dollar is the world reserve currency. So to save yourself some time, just focus on the main one. Although if you are living in, another nation with a really poor performing dollar, that's why you would want to get into investing in crypto predominantly, because it's, a safe haven for you in that scenario. If you're somebody who lives in Venezuela, you need Bitcoin. If you're somebody who lives in Iraq or Iran, you need Bitcoin. You need something to hedge yourself against this problem of basically endless devaluation of your currency. I also brought up how we would see spikes in the US oil price, so in crude oil. And look at what we're getting today. We're getting a closure most likely today above the 0.5 fib. And then I told everyone, if we get a closure above the 0.5 fib, I'm anticipating a 91 per barrel of crude oil before the end of the year. So I'm anticipating 91 per barrel probably by October. And what that will create is a hike in food prices. So I brought this up, and I brought this up weeks ago because I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention to prep. It's not like doomsday, but I want you to understand that your food prices are going to go up substantially because the oil price is going up substantially. And in order to move food from point A to point B, you need oil. Okay, so whether they come out and say hyperinflation is real or not, I don't really give a shit. I know Steve Van Meter has made a whole career off of saying that inflation isn't real and it's not happening. Well, he clearly doesn't know how to look at the prices in a grocery store. But besides that, these numbers are going to become astronomical for your gas prices, and absolutely that will reflect on food. And food is already increasing in price substantially since the pandemic, and it's going to continue to go up. And the dollar holding strength as these things continue to go up in price is really worrying because, our purchasing power has been sort of stabilized for the last 200 days, but the gas prices and the food prices continue to go up. Rent prices will continue to go up, etc. So this is a really precarious time right now from an economical standpoint, and the people who aren't preparing themselves are gonna be shocked. Next year is going to be a hell of a year for humanity once the Shemitah kicks in. So let's quickly go over to the Bitcoin chart and check out some of the things that we're seeing there. I'm going to go to our monthly close because that was really important for us to see. I'm going to switch over this moving average to the 10 because that's traditionally what we would like to use on a more macro time frame. I'm going to hide all of these drawings, and I'm just going to bring up this yellow moving average. Okay, so you can see historically during a bull run, staying above this yellow moving average has indicated that we're still in a bullish trend. And you can see this was the monthly close of June. We got above it, and you could see right here at the end of the bull run in 2018, that closure below it, even though we had a nice recovery upwards, it actually made a downtrend following. So this closure is indicative that we're still good to go, and I anticipate we're going to get bullish momentum into next month. The one thing, though, that I brought up was this red candle is something that is indicative also of all these consecutive green candles, which is leverage. There's a lot of leverage in this market. We spoke about it yesterday. And so even though historically bull runs continue being above this one moving average, since moving averages are lagging indicators, and this was such a massive liquidity event in a single month, This is something that people need to understand, that in 2018, the average investor didn't have access to buying crypto on their cell phones. So right now we have over leveraged retail who could go on the Bybit app from their iPhone and put in a 100x long, and that's clearly not safe. And the whales know all of your stop losses and they know your entries. So the whales can wipe you out with the click of a button, and they do that on purpose. And every time they do that, to the price they do it and the date they do it is Gematria Numerology and Astrology. That's how that works. That's what we're doing here. So whenever there's euphoria in the market, there needs to be wipeouts of over-leveraged long positions. So here we are, and we're actually in a similar run to back in 2013, 2014. Like I've told you guys for weeks now, I see this big correction back here in the middle of the year. Very similar to the one we have here. So we had an all-time high put up in April, and then a huge massive correction, all-time high in April, massive correction, and then we essentially went boring sideways and choppy until October, and then just massive green candle into November, December. So another thing we could go over is on the daily chart, look at some of the things there on the shorter time frame. I'm going to change this back to an 8 because I like the 8. It's a Fibonacci number. So I anticipate by today, we're probably going to get bought up above this 8 simple moving average. That's pretty indicative of a uptrend. You do have larger corrections. And again, it's just because there's a lot of leverage in this market. It's the start of the month. There's a lot of things going on. Liquidity flowing around. The one thing I could show you guys though is this 21 EMA, this orange moving average, typically the bullish indicator that we've been using for Bitcoin. When you close dailies above the 21, you anticipate continuation. But lately, every time we get a closure above the 21, we get wiped out by the 34. So I've been paying more attention to the 34 lately. Again, with TA, you need to be able to collect data and you need to be able to make moves on the go. You can't just be like concrete with it. You have to be a data scientist, and that goes to looking at all of the moving averages we have at our disposal. Again, the ones that I like to use are the 13, 21, 34 when it comes to the exponential moving averages, because they are Fibonacci numbers. So it's very important, if we see a daily close above this 34 and we actually hold it, probably for a weekly close would be more ideal. You're going to see continuation, and this continuation, you're going to see a bunch of resistance around 41,400. And I said many times, I want to see a daily close, preferably a 2-day or a 3-day close above 41,500. You could just say 42,000 to make it nice and simple. And then all of this market will start to recover. If Bitcoin recovers, the altcoins recover. So it's very important that we see that that occur. And I do want to show you guys something that I think is pretty interesting. I'm going to put this on an area chart, and we're going to do a little bit of Wyckoff really quickly. So right here, we do have what would be considered a buying climax, if you will, and then a massive sell-off event. You could call this bottom area the selling climax. And then I'm going to show you a Wyckoff schematic I believe we are seeing. So this Wyckoff schematic right here, I think, is what is playing out. Essentially, you have lows and then you have a reaction. So you have right here would be your lows, and then you have that reaction. You could call it automatic rally if you'd like. And then correction down, and then lots of trading in this phase C and phase D. I believe that's where we are at right now. We have had our phase C bottom right down here. Actually got a nice double bottom, and then this move right here is a transition into phase D. So if I was to, you know, scroll like this and maybe move the chart around a little bit so you could see both at the same time, might give you a clearer picture. Boom. Okay. So you see right here is akin to right here, this spike right here, similar to that spike here. Then you have correction. You enter your spring, and then we could even have a lower low, but the reason I don't believe that is because we're heading into the new moon, and new moons are typically bullish, and most of the time on a new moon, we have a higher high than the previous high on a new moon. So this new moon was right here. and that was 41,400. So that's what's been making me say I'm anticipating this next new moon to break 42. That would just be what we historically see in the data. It's not my opinion, it's what I'm telling you I see in the charts. And you could look at the moon cycles indicator and see that for yourself. So before we move on to the XRP charts, go ahead and give this video a like if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification so you can stay updated on when new videos come out. We've had a bunch of new people join from 3T Warrior Academy's channel. Much love to all of you. I hope you're enjoying these red pills. So let's move into the XRP charts. Looking pretty good over here. Actually, what I was seeing before I made today's video was holding this 8, and that it is exactly what we're doing. So you can see this 8 EMA is holding. But I do want to go over to the monthly chart because we got the monthly close. If you look right up here, you could see where it says C, and you could pause the video. You could see it says 0.706. So if you watched yesterday's video where I mentioned a 70-cent monthly close, that was magical because the trading price was sitting at like, oh man, I remember it was like 60-something cents, and it was such a buyback at the end of the day. Pretty much everything we said in yesterday's video about the stock market closing around 4:30 and then a massive buyback in the cryptos and then closing at 70 cents. Wow. It's like waters above market whisperer. Absolutely amazing to see that happen. So the one thing I do want to talk about though is this upcoming weekly close, and I do think that there's something to consider here. We're going to move over to the EMAs, and I would like to get a weekly closure above the 34. So that would be a 73-cent weekly closure. I think it's possible. The reason I'm feeling it is because it's the transition into the 27th week of the year. So I'll bring that up in one moment. But pretty much this 34 EMA would be ideal. And it's most likely in the cards just because we're moving into that new moon, which has the bullish energy predominantly like 5 days around the new moon. So that means 5 days before and 5 days after. The new moon is on July 9th, so that's kind of the overall time frame I'm anticipating. On the daily, though, we're holding that 8. And not only are we holding the 8 simple moving average, this yellow moving average right here, we also are bullish on MACD. So we do have a cross bullish on MACD, and it's looking okay. RSI is a little shaky, but I believe holding above 40 tonight and seeing a little bit of recovery over the next couple days would be in the cards. And I'm really interested about tomorrow. So I might be making a video tomorrow depending, but tomorrow is the July 2nd date, like 7/2 or 2/7. So this 72 and 27 comes up quite often in cryptocurrency. Actually, it's probably one of the more important numbers because it's the English ordinal cipher of Bitcoin. And of course, I've shown you guys time and time again about how Bitcoin basically runs this whole show, even from a Gematria perspective. So with Ripple, you're getting the 27, like tomorrow's date written internationally, 2-7. And then you also have, of course, Bitcoin with the 72. Then you have Theta with the 27. And then you have, you know, the meme of all memes, Dogecoin with the 72. And then the 27th week of the year starts in a couple days. So I'm really interested to see how tomorrow's price action turns out. Again, I believe today was just a nice little pullback we're getting due to the dollar index having a little bit of bullish momentum. Nothing to worry about, just another pullback in the matrix. And like I've said, expect until September at least to be choppy up and down. And whenever we're in the bottom of the range, that's all about accumulation. Whenever we're at the top of the range, that's always about de-risking or closing positions. Again, this is not financial advice. It's just what sophisticated traders do. So today's the last day of the Mastermind course sale. Promo code in the pinned comment below to get a discount on over 100 video lessons where you can learn my strategies of technical analysis, reading the charts, and combining it with Gematria, the esoteric code. The new month of Patreon is open now. If you've been waiting to join the Mastermind community membership, I appreciate you. It's going to be an awesome month for our community because of the Gematria Masterclass. I'm looking forward to doing those 4 Gematria decodes for everyone over the month. Enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.